What's going on, Canes fans? I'm still smiling from the Virginia victory on Friday night, but listen, it's time to get back to work. We've got Georgia Tech coming up this week, and we've got a lot of questions, especially as fans. We're wondering, who's the starting QB going into this week? What was up with the defense on Friday? Did Manny Diaz call plays? Is that why they played so much better? The kicking situation, backs of this kid that we've never heard of, Davidson, comes in and kicks the field goals and extra points instead of him. Who's going to be the kicker? What we're going to do is Manny Diaz was on the Joe Rose radio show this morning. Now, I'm going to link their radio show down in my description. I do not claim any of this audio. This is not my show. I don't own any of these clips. You have to go to their website, which is linked down there, to check out the full show. And I encourage it. They have a great show over there. This is just going to be a couple of little clips so we can react to it and discuss it down in the comment section. So let's just dive right in and take a look. The first thing we're going to listen to is Manny Diaz's comment on the defense. So let's go ahead and hop in.
Coach, help me out. Defensively, you said last week when we talked, like, hey, I'm going more to the defense. I think it was just kind of general comment at that point. What exactly? Did you call plays? Did you make changes? What was the biggest thing you did defensively with this group to get involved?
No, but, Blake Baker called the plays, and I thought he called a great game on Friday night.
Okay, so that answers the burning question that we've all been wanting to know. Did Manny Diaz actually call plays on Friday night? The answer sounds like no. Manny Diaz comes right out and says no. Blake Baker called the plays on Friday, and and that's what I'm telling you guys. It's all been just not rumors, because Manny Diaz said he would be more hands-on, but everyone just assumed that meant he was calling the plays. So let's continue to listen and see what he says.
The biggest thing was just in practice. And as I've mentioned, there had to be someone who all the players could connect to, and because for whatever reason it had just not happened. Just maybe adding a different layer of accountability to the players on that side of the ball, and making them feel that how they're all dependent on one another for each other's success. And and look, like as I mentioned, we were going to play better anyway. I don't think that was who we were against Virginia Tech, but we had to get a sense of urgency that we had to get it going right away, because the standard is the standard at the University of Miami for how we play defense, and everyone knew that there's a lot of guys with pride in that room that had let it down the week before.
So me personally, I'm cool with this. A lot of people have been upset with the calls that Blake Baker has been making on game day, and here's an opportunity for him to learn from Manny Diaz. And I think many of us would agree that we've been pretty happy with Manny Diaz's defense over the last couple of years. Again, it's not perfect, but no defense is ever perfect. Compared to what we've seen so far this season up until the Virginia game, we've been pretty upset with Baker. So this is an opportunity for him to see how Manny Diaz coaches these guys up at defense. But then at the same time, Baker still calls the plays on game day, because if we're riding with Baker long term, he's going to be calling the plays on defense. So what would be the point of Baker just coaching these guys up at practice, and then on game day he just chills and he's the water boy on game day and Diaz calls the plays, right? So it makes sense that he's kind of learning from Diaz. Diaz is also adding another layer of accountability to everybody on the defense. So it just makes sense to do it this way. I get it. But that does answer the question. Was Diaz calling the plays on Friday night against Virginia? No. At least that's what he said, okay? So this is the part that I am curious about, the quarterback situation. What does Manny Diaz say when asked about the quarterback situation coming into Georgia Tech week? Let's hear what he's got to say.
We can run fast and hit hard.
Hey, let me ask you about your quarterback situation. N'Kosi Perry it's kind of weird. He took over, but he got more experience than any of your quarterbacks. Has a great drive, really did a nice job with things. Does it tease you a little bit to come back with him again this week? Could it happen, or do you stick with Jarren Williams?
Well, it doesn't tease us. It lets us know what we've been saying all along is that we can win games with N'Kosi. I mean, N'Kosi just beat a 20th ranked team in the country, and the week before led a 20-point comeback, and last year he led a comeback against Florida State from down 20. I mean, N'Kosi he's done some things now on his resume that are impressive. So it's what I've been saying all along. Jarren Williams is our starter, but it's still up to Jarren to come back from the issues he's been dealing with, and also to come back with the adversity of what he faced in the Virginia Tech game, and to prove to everybody that he's ready to go. And if for whatever reason he's not, we've got all the faith in the world in Nicosi to get it done.
So if Jarren is healthy, Jarren will be the starter coming up this week.
If he's healthy and if he's ready, again, it's two parts to it. It's healthy and he's ready to bounce back in essence from, look, when you're the quarterback, everybody's watching everything you do. And it's that idea of getting back in there and getting back on the horse and saying, hey, let's ride. And I think once he's ready for that, then we'll be ready to go.
So hear me out, Canes fans. Listen, I'm going to go ahead, quick disclaimer in case anyone is new here and they don't already know this. I'm a pro Perry guy. I'm a pro Williams guy. I'm a pro Tate Martell guy. I like all the quarterbacks that we have. Each of them bring their own unique skill set to the table. But listen, for me at this point, and again, this is just my opinion. It's okay if you disagree. Perry came out in the Virginia Tech game and balled out given the circumstances, right? In the scenario that he was put into, the situation. Perry comes out, Miami's struggling, right? We've beaten nobody. Perry comes in the Virginia game and we win. Again, did the offense look perfect? Did Perry play a perfect game? Absolutely not. But given the situation, given this current offense, given this offensive line, Perry made the most of it, the best of it, and won us the football game against an ACC Coastal ranked opponent. To me, this is Perry's job to lose. I feel like Perry came out and won the job against Virginia Tech. Perry came out and won the job against Virginia. So it would be Perry's job to lose, right? I understand that Williams was dealing with an injury, right? I get it. And I like Jarren Williams. I'm not bashing any of the players. Don't take this video that way. I want the guy to be in there that gives us the best chance to win football games. And based on what I've seen, I personally feel like right now, the way that the offense is, that's Nicosi Perry. So with the way he performed, how can you really sit back? And I'm not bashing Diaz either. I mean, the coaches see these guys every day. I don't. But I feel like given this situation, Perry should be the starter. Williams has to win the job back. And I'm not trying to start drama either. But obviously, we're all going to be talking about this. News is going to be coming out from practice. Who's taking reps with the ones, who's taking reps with the twos. So it sounds like Williams is their guy and they want to stick with him. And it's his job to lose is what they're saying. And I guess it would have to be lost at practice because, again, I feel like Perry won the job from his play in the big-time games. So we're also going to move on and see what he has to say about the kickers. But please let me know in the comment section how you feel about this. It's not to start drama, but we all have our own opinion, right, on what would make this football team great again, what puts us in the best scenario. So if we disagree with Manny Diaz, it's okay. I'm not saying fire Manny Diaz because he's saying Jarren Williams is still the guy. I do see that side of the argument, right? They named Jarren Williams. He's our guy, ride or die. He's our quarterback, and they want to stand behind that and stick with their decision.
Coach, you got to tell us about this kicking story. I've seen kickers to see if they're healthy or not in warm-ups, but you actually let them kind of compete there in warm-ups between Bubba Baxa and Turner Davidson, who ends up doing a field goal kick, and Bubba did the kickoffs. I'm just curious, did they know ahead of time that they were going to be in a little open competition, kickoff competition before the game?
We've been competing in everything we've done.
As we should. Every position should be open competition all season long, as far as I'm concerned.
All fall, in essence, in terms of who's going to be our kicker. You know, we chart every kick that they make in practice, every kick that they miss in practice, where it's made and where it's missed from. So they all know that everything counts and everything matters. And when we got to the stadium Friday night, it just so happened that the warm-up was so one-sided, and Turner was just so much better that we just felt like we had no choice but to go his route, and we explained that to Bubba, and that's not again, the competition continues, going forward. It was very important for Bubba to do a great job with kickoffs because, as we all saw, Reed is such an amazing kick returner. And the team was very excited to see Turner get his chance. The team always wants the competition, reign supreme. That's what the team wants. They want to see guys at every position competing, and they want to see the best man have a chance to get out there and make plays on game day.
Coach.
So, see, this just brings me back. Listen, y'all are going to be like, Coop, you can't get off the QBs. Does that not bring me back to the QB situation? Open competition, right? The guy that's giving us the best chance to win the game. Okay? I'm going to stop there because we're talking about the kickers. But thank goodness, right? I mean, Turner Davidson comes in. Nobody knows his name, right? Don't sit here and pretend like you knew who Turner Davidson was. I didn't know. I didn't even know dude was on the roster. Okay, I think he's like a redshirt sophomore, maybe a walk-on. I don't know. But listen, I don't know if you've seen it. They're auctioning off the parlay jerseys from that game. I'm trying to decide. You have to bid on them, okay? I'm thinking about bidding on the Turner Davidson jersey or my boy Louis Headley, because Louis Headley's been my boy from day one, right? But Turner Davidson comes in, hits a 19-yard field goal, and nails his extra points, and we're thinking, yes! Finally, we've got a kicker, right? So it sounds like that's going to remain open competition. So this coming up week, it might be Baxa. If he's got they call it a hot foot, like they do a hot hand, I don't know. And they do go on to talk about another kicker that we have on the roster, Price, who has apparently been suspended for something. So let me see what Manny has to say about that.
It was an even better story. Now, I know you got pressed last week during the press conferences by a couple of the reporters about your number 2 kicker and what was going on with him. What was the storyline with, I guess, since Turner's your number 3 guy or the walk-on, what was the story with the number 2 kicker on the depth chart?
Yeah, Camden Price has been unavailable for us for the last couple of weeks. We'll get him back this weekend. So we'll really have a 3-man competition during the course of the week to see who trots out there on Saturday.
Okay, so we're actually going to have 3 kickers then coming into the Georgia Tech game. I personally don't know anything about Price. Don't know anything about him. So that's crazy. Turner Davidson was the number 3 guy on the depth chart. So that's going to be it for this video. I really just wanted to get your opinion on what Manny Diaz said on the Joe Rose show this morning with this Georgia Tech game coming up. And be sure to leave your comments on it. Make your feelings known, good or bad. It's not about starting drama. It's about voicing your opinion on decisions that Manny Diaz is making, and we can talk it out down in the comment section. And make sure, guys, we just hit 10,000 subscribers. We're going to push for 15,000 and beyond, right? So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do that. It doesn't cost you a thing. I also have a join button down there if you want to check it out. That does cost money. I'm being 100% honest with you. It's beside the subscribe button, and for Apple users, it's in the description. It does cost money, but it directly supports the channel. 100% optional, though. You don't have to do it. But I appreciate all the support, guys. So that's it again for this one. Remember, we are all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. It's game week again, guys. Let's get ready for Georgia Tech. Go Canes. Peace out.